everyone. Today we are going to talk about our topic on toxic effect of gases.
Toxic gases? What exactly are those?
Toxic gases are harmful gases that can enter our body, especially through breathing.
Oh, like gas leak or smoke from vehicle?
Yes, exactly. These gases can be found in places like laboratories, industries, and even in our daily life.
So, what happens if someone is exposed to these gases?
Exposure can cause health problems such as dizziness, coughing, breathing difficulties, and in serious case, it can even lead to death.
That sounds really dangerous.
Yes, it is. So in this video, we will explain the sources of toxic gases, how they enter the body, their health effect, and also the preventative measures.
Alright, let's get started. Hmm.
There are common toxic gases. First, carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. These gases can affect to our body such as dizziness and deadly in silently.
So, other than carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, there are many more toxic gases or toxic substances in our surrounding, such as uh, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, chlorine, and many more. All of these toxic substances or toxic gases can affect our respiratory system and enter our bloodstream. This can cause a minor effect such as lung burn or even can make our eyes have a itchy skin. They have a itchy eye. So that include all our explanation for toxic gases.
Reduce oxygen supply. Some toxic gases prevent oxygen from being transported properly in the body. Carbon monoxide is good example because it attaches to red blood cell more easily than oxygen. As a result, the body organ receive less oxygen, causing dizziness, weakness, headache, and fatigue. Okay, after that, toxic gases can affect to eye and skin irritation. Certain gases can irritate the eyes, nose, throat, and skin. Exposure may cause redness, burning sensation, excessive hearing, and discomfort. For example, chlorine gases can irritate the eyes and respiratory system even at low concentration.
Furthermore, damage to the nervous system. Some toxic gases can affect the brain and the nervous system. Symptoms may include headache, confusion, poor concentration, and loss of coordination. In severe cases, exposure can lead to unconsciousness and permanent neurological damage. Other than that, there are also long-term health effects for inhaling toxic gases for a long period of time. As an example, continuous exposure to toxic gases over a long period can lead to serious health conditions. This may include chronic respiratory disease, reduced lung function, and increased risk of heart and lung disorder. Workers in industrial environment are often higher risk if proper safety measures are not followed and not being trained well by the employees. So, you guys must be wondering, how can toxic gases approach us? So, there are actually many places that are common with toxic gases. The first example is industrial workplace. Industrial workplace is usually using toxic gases to do manufacturing and other things uh, to include the product so that the factory can work as usual and be more productive. The second places that has toxic gases are actually agricultural setting. So toxic gases in agricultural setting is usually involved around animals, around pesticides and other form of pesticides. And the last place that you may wonder uh, how that how can we get toxic gases intoxicated in our body is actually a very common place for us as a student, that is laboratory or university setting. So uh, we as a student that has science or chemistry as a subject, we usually approach the toxic gases ourselves. So if you wonder, if you wonder that toxic gases can approach us, uh, then that's the answer. There are many places that has common toxic gases.
Okay, now let's talk about the general control measures to reduce exposure to toxic gases.
So, Case, how can we protect ourselves from the toxic gases?
Okay, first, we can use engineering controls such as proper ventilation system. This helps to remove or reduce toxic gases from the air.
Oh, like using exhaust fans or working in a fume hood?
Yes, exactly. Next, we have administrative control, which is include following procedure, proper training, and limiting exposure time.
So, we should always follow the instruction and not stay too long in the hazardous areas.
Correct. Lastly, we use personal protective equipment, or we call it PPE, such as mask or respirator, to prevent inhalation or toxic gases.
Effective
I
personal
see.
protective equipment to protect workers against designated hazards when properly selected and worn. Full face respirators, gas masks, self contained breathing apparatus, N95 respirators, and surgical masks.
I see. So, the PPE, the last line of defense?
Yes, that's right. By using these control measures, we can reduce the risk and protect our health.
Okay, now I understand how important these safety measures are.
Hi Akil. Can I interview you?
Yes.
I just want to ask about toxic gases. Do you think how we can prevent exposure to toxic gases?
I think we can prevent this by wearing a protective equipment and also avoid from polluted area.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So I have a question for you guys. So, uh, we as a student, how can we prevent ourselves from being exposed to toxic gases in our school?
I think we as students we need to wear personal protective equipment when we go to the lab. And I think we need to wear glove and mask when we do lab.
Okay, thank you for your response.
Welcome, welcome.
Now we have two people we want to interview. First, we go with Aikal.
So, the first question is, what is the most common toxic gases that you know?
From my knowledge, the most common toxic gases that I know is carbon monoxide because nowadays people are using vehicle like car and motorcycle to go anywhere. So the carbon monoxide is like very common.
Okay, my turn to ask Amjad. Do you think what effect of toxic gases?
So I think the effect is you can easily get coughing, dizziness, and other problem health.
Alright, good answer.
Okay, that is beres.